Hello guys, it's Kayla, or Moon, or Reporter of Disaster. How's everybody doing? So I know we just talked about a controversial topic, but unfortunately we have another one to talk about today. In this video, we'll be diving deep into the Pinoy BL Festival and the Rykon Fan Con, two separate but disastrous BL conventions based in the Philippines. Before we get into it, I have to give a disclaimer. Myself and my co-hosts over at Lovecast were negatively affected by Rykon Tapani Philippines, so I'm biased, and frankly, I don't give a shit. Now let's begin by going through the timeline of events for the Pinoy BL Festival. On December 20th, 2021, Asterisk Digital Entertainment announced that they would be holding an event called the Pinoy BL Festival. This event was set for April 28th and 29th of 2022 at the Araneta Coliseum in Metro Manila. In the initial tweet, they teased a two-day festival where fans could meet their favorite Filipino and Thai BL actors. 2 days later, they announced a third day of the convention that would be held at the New Frontier Theater, also located in Metro Manila. This third day would take place on April 30th and consist of a BL awards show with a panel of judges and actors present. Not long after, the first three guests were revealed: Smart, Chehub, and Best. As well, the judges were revealed. On February 23, 2022, Asterisk announced their partnership with Big Four Productions and revealed that almost 100 BL actors from across Southeast Asia would be attending the festival. At some point during March, the festival was rescheduled to June 24th through the 26th and was relocated to the SM North EDSA Sky Dome in Metro Manila. I should note that the final number of guests was not 100, but was closer to 50 instead. Asterisk began revealing more guests leading up to the announcement of ticket prices on May 20th, 2022. It wasn't until June 1st that the tickets went on sale to the public. On the 13th, they announced a festival live stream, and the next day, those tickets went on sale. 3 of their media partners were announced on June 14th: World of Thai Bantung, the Cebu BL Organization, and ABS-CBN. So day 1 of the Pinoy BL Festival. What happened? Attendees who went to the Q&A session began voicing their concerns. Although the festival was hosting guests from Thailand and Korea, they failed to provide an interpreter for the event. One of the guests, actor Pavel Poom, stepped up to interpret for the Thai guests. This was not something he was scheduled or paid to do, he just did it to help out. There was also no moderator present to vet the questions, which resulted in Earth Tirapat being asked about Two Moons too. If you aren't aware of that past incident, I did make a video thoroughly explaining it. That first day, most of the complaints had to do with the Q&A, registration, sound check, poor live stream quality, and a general lack of organization. As the evening came around, we began hearing from the guests about their experiences. Actor Smart Chisinupong was pictured getting his hair and makeup done in a public restroom at the venue. Said picture was taken by his manager, who revealed on her Instagram story that some of the actors were not provided with dressing rooms. Fluke Chachawin and Gun Tisuwan's manager also revealed in an Instagram story that catering was not provided and they ate their first meal of the day at 4 p.m. Many events that were scheduled either fell through or were delayed, but the main event that had attendees fuming was the photo op. Included in the list of perks for all tiers was the opportunity to take photos with the actors. However, on day 2 of the festival, only VVIP ticket holders were allowed into the photo op for Idol Factory. Between days 1 and 2, actors began dropping out of the festival. The reason? They hadn't received payment for their appearances. The cast of the Thai BL Restarted never even received their plane tickets for the Philippines. The main event on day 2 was an appearance from the cast of Secret Crush on You. Surprisingly, things went well. People attributed this to their fan club, who provided food support throughout their stay and organized a fan meet the next day. Unfortunately, not all guests were treated with hospitality. A Filipino actor anonymously reached out to a BL reactor named Kent and shared that the Filipino actors in attendance were kicked out of their dressing rooms once the Thai and Korean actors arrived. They were forced to share one dressing room, and anytime they tried to leave, security would interrogate them about where they're going. Spoiler alert for day 3. It was postponed. The guests were not notified about this postponement, and many found out via Twitter and Instagram. The festival made a statement claiming that the awards ceremony would be moved on a different date. People have speculated that this statement is worded to deliberately avoid issuing refunds. There were so many issues with this festival that I couldn't include them all, so if I missed something important, please share it with us below. Before we move on to Rykon Fan Con, there's one more piece of information I'd like to share. The CEO of Asterisk Digital Entertainment is Christian Kabigting, and the founder of Big 4 Productions is Luis Perez. Now, the timeline for Rykon Fan Con is tricky because Rykon Tapani Philippines has deleted all content related to it. According to ticket holders, the convention was announced on March 1st, 2022, and would be held on August 26th through the 28th at the Unaris Center in Antipolo, Rizal. Over the next 2 months, a total of 54 Thai and Singaporean guests were announced. These guests included popular BL pairings such as Max Toll, Kim Kop, Zinunu, and more. The convention would consist of an exhibition hall, where attendees could buy merchandise from artists and fan clubs, a boys' love forum where a sun and moon competition would take place, and an artist interaction, where fans could participate in games with the actors. A concert was scheduled for the second day of the convention and would be live-streamed for international fans. On the third day, an entertainment and media awards ceremony would be held to celebrate the actors and others working in the BL industry. Leading up to the ticket sale, Rykon Tapani Philippines revealed their media partners: Parsync Magazine, Village People, Inquirer.net, Pop, When in Manila, Starstruck Media, Headliner Manila, Anyong Opa, and Pep PH. Their main sponsor listed for the convention was Let's Talk BL, and they worked with Novotel Manila Araneta City and Red Planet Hotels to secure accommodations. In addition to these companies, they reached out to BL content creators and brought them on as ambassadors to promote the event. On May 26, 2022, tickets were scheduled to go on sale to the public. However, the website crashed, delaying the sale until 1 a.m. Filipino time on the 27th. Tickets for the concert livestream were sold separately on an earlier date, but I couldn't confirm what day. Again, spoiler alert, the convention didn't happen. But why? So on August 3rd, 2022, Ja and First Manager tweeted out to the fan base saying that their appearances at Rykon Fan Con would be put on hold. This hold was the result of Rykon Tapani Philippines failing to contact them with any updates. A few hours after that initial post, she tweeted out again, saying that Rykon Fan Con would likely be canceled and that no explanation was given. It turns out that she had previously tweeted about this same issue on July 16th, and that the lack of correspondence on the part of Rykon Tapani Philippines had driven her to speak out. Ticket holders saw her tweets and were left confused. Why would the convention be canceled, and why wasn't it being addressed? The next day, Yin and War's team released a post regarding Rykon Fan Con on the actors' Facebook pages. In said post, they revealed that their appearance would be put on hold and mentioned that the event might not happen. That same day, Up Poompat's manager also tweeted out that his appearance would be put on hold until further notice. But that's not all. Over on Instagram, Karan Castidge commented on one of Rykon Tapani Philippines' posts, asking them to contact his management about payment. This was when we learned that none of the actors received payment for their upcoming appearances at Rykon Fan Con. What ensued afterwards was alarming. The president of Rykon Tapani Philippines, Ray James Sabalita, privated his Twitter account before deactivating it altogether. The ticketing page was removed from their website, and their pinned thread about ticketing was deleted. They began contacting creators via email, asking them to take down promotional content related to the convention. As I mentioned earlier, our podcast was asked to take down our interview with the Rykon Tapani Philippines team. No explanation was given, and no public statement had been made. At this point, we wanted nothing to do with them and deleted all material that showed the organization in a positive light. This is where my bias comes in. Because James, how dare you sit there with my co-hosts, giggling about how fun your photo shoot was. Meanwhile, you had Parsing Magazine footing the bill for everything, including airfare. Did you enjoy telling them about all the cute interactions you had with the actors, the same ones whose managers were calling you off the hook asking where their money was? The thing is, it's okay to admit defeat. If you're not prepared to hold an event, then it should be canceled. But it's the fact that you pretended everything was running smoothly until weeks before the event. It's the fact that instead of issuing a statement upon questioning, you hid for a full 24 hours before releasing the vaguest excuse for an apology I've ever seen. Take accountability. In their statement that was posted on August 4th, they told the ticket holders and fan clubs to expect an email regarding the refund process by August 10th. As for the other executives that were involved in organizing Rykon Fan Con, their names are Chi Harris, Mikal Lau, and Timothy Boat. One more thing. The sponsors, partners, and ambassadors had no knowledge of the situation and were essentially scammed, so please don't go bashing them. Seeing two Pinoy BL conventions fail within 2 months of one another has been disappointing. It's unfortunate how a small group of people can make a whole fandom look bad, and I fear that companies will not be willing to do overseas appearances after this fiasco. But to end on a lighter note, we saw so much love for Filipino fans from the actors involved. I think they're smart enough to know that it's not the fault of their fans who were simply promised an opportunity to meet them. Thank you to the moon and back for watching. Thank you to my sources for helping me pinpoint some of these dates. And thank you, as always, to the lovely members of my Discord server. Did you go to the Pinoy BL Festival? Did you plan on going to Rykon Fan Con? Tell me your experiences with both conventions. Venting is allowed. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!